What is your name?
My name is Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. So, can you tell us what you have been doing and able to travel the world and work remotely?
So I have two jobs currently. I work as a psychology professor, just teaching online, and then I also design solar panel systems. Just very random.
Oh, that's really cool. And how did you get into the solar panel? Let's talk about the solar panel one first, and then we can talk about psychology. So, how did you get into working with solar panels?
So I started looking for like remote jobs in 2021, height of COVID, all those things. And I just basically applied to any remote job I could find. There was like zero qualifications, just applied to everything. And I found this one, and it was like project management was the title at first, which I ended up not getting accepted into that position, but they threw me into another role. And 3 years later, here we are.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
really cool. And so, if someone wants to do a career or work in solar panels or anything like that, what kind of experience do they need?
So actually the company that I work for is based out of the US, and they hire straight out of high school. So you do not need any sort of secondary education, nothing like that. They train you on the job, and yeah.
Did you hear that? You don't need a degree. That's amazing. And then but you are able to do that with also having another job as well. So how many hours a week do you work?
I'd say on average, I work probably about 20 hours a week with both of my jobs combined. That can vary, of course, depending on like high season, I'll work a little bit more, maybe 25 to 30. But it's varied throughout the day. So I wanted a schedule that was not super set. So if the surf is good, I can go surf or whatever it is. If I want to take a day trip, I can go do that. Usually about 20 to 30.
Okay, that's cool. And so where all have you traveled while having this job?
I've spent a lot of time in Central America. Hello, surfing. I did Europe last year for a while, and then Mexico now, and then I've done some South America, but that's definitely on the goals list this year.
Okay, cool. And so do you have to work certain set hours for this job, or is it pretty flexible?
For the most part, it's flexible. I do have a couple of meetings. Depending on the day, I'll have 1 to 2, 3 meetings a day, but those are my only things that are really set. Everything else, I just have to check my phone every once in a while and just kind of be on top of things. But for the most part, it's project-based, which is super nice for traveling.
Amazing. And so what kind of person do you think would like this type of job or want to go into this kind of field?
I would say anyone that is good with time management, that's super huge, especially with project-based, since just have deadlines and everything is just on my own. So my boss isn't hounding me for things. It's very much, hey, this is due by here, get it done. Or sometimes I don't even have deadlines. I just have to get it done. So someone that's time management or that has time management. And then other things, probably just like more outgoing because I am talking to my team a lot. I'm constantly like messaging them. So probably outgoing and time management.
Okay, amazing. And then you said you also have another job, which is really cool that you're able to manage two different jobs. Sounds like quite a lot. So you want to tell us about your other job that you have?
Yeah, so I'm a psychology professor just for a junior college in the States. And for that one, I would say that's what my graduate degree is in. So I do have my master's in psychology. So due to that, I wanted to figure out how to work remote, while still using my degree, excuse me. And so I was kind of just brainstorming. Telehealth wasn't super huge when I was first getting into it back in 2021 as well. So it's just kind of something that came up, and I applied to just all these colleges, and a lot of times they want people with their doctorates. So it did take a while. But eventually I found this tiny school, and here we are 3 years later as well.
That's amazing. So if someone wants to be a psychology professor and travel the world with that job, what would you recommend them doing?
I would say just keep pounding the pavement for jobs. You're going to get a lot of rejections, and I'm still like looking. The great thing about it is you can work at multiple universities if you're an adjunct professor. So keep pounding the pavement, keep going at it, and you will eventually get something or something else comes up. There's a lot of opportunities in the field. It's just a matter of not giving up on trying to get one of those opportunities.
Okay, cool. And do you have any like advice for anyone who is wanting to get into this field, travel the world?
I would say it definitely has to be something that you're willing to sacrifice for. I would say a lot of times, like some of my solar panel job is not my most favorite job. However, it's been awesome and it's given me the lifestyle that I wanted. So I think a lot of people put pressure on you to do the job that you're passionate about. And that doesn't necessarily have to be the thing. My job is in my life. I'm passionate about traveling, surf, spending time with friends all over the world. So just because my job is what's paying the bill doesn't mean I have to absolutely, like, it's ideal if you can love it, but it's not a necessity for sure.
And what made you want to start traveling and take your job with you and become a digital nomad?
It all started, I moved to Thailand to teach English. That was my first, like, dip my toe in the water working while traveling. And I loved it, but the schedule was exhausting. I was working from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day with crazy children, which is a great experience. But due to that experience, I was like, okay, how can I still enjoy this travel, but not have to worry about holidays or time off and all those things? Still being able to combine the both. And that's where it all began.
And do you mind me asking, how much do you make?
Yeah, no, not at all. So combined, I make about 52K a year, and that's with a few raises over the years. But yeah, so 52K, and I do still, finances are super important to me. So I travel on the cheap. I'm the carry-on type of girl, and so yeah, 52K.
And you have been able to manage doing that, living off 52K and traveling to all these countries.
Yeah, for sure. I save about half of my income while I'm traveling, actually. So that's always the goal, is save half or / invest. So yeah, I'm very cheap. This is my first time not staying in a hostel. So, I know I'm moving up in the world a little bit, but yeah. So it's been super easy to manage it. I think everyone makes it seem like it's so unattainable, but if you're willing to just cut back on some luxuries, you got it. You can do it.
It's amazing. Thank you so much. So if you guys are ever wanting to find a job to travel the world, you don't want to post yourself online, you totally can. Sarah is a great example of this. I known Sara. I met her back in Panama, and it's really cool. She actually owns 2 houses, and she's not even 30 yet, which is amazing. And she's been traveling the world, making everything happen to do it. So I just want to show you that this is an example that you can do. So if you want to have a remote job and travel the world, you can do it just like how Sara has.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.